Hello and welcome to the Nethergreen podcast. I'm your host, Brad Jacobs.
And I am your host, Bradley Cooper from the film A Star Is Born. This is episode 53, which you forgot to mention. Because that's how he sounds. He's southerning. He's got a growl, you know. I love you, you know.
And Brad Jacobs, he talks with a lot of...
Go on, do it. Do the impression. Do it.
I'm not ready.
Do it.
I'm not ready.
I just did my impression of Bradley Cooper from A Star Is Born.
Yeah, but that's so easy because he's got such like a distinctive...
You do an impression of him.
Oh, very, very good.
That was pretty fucking good, I must admit. You've really shown me up there. That was better than my impression.
But this guy, he doesn't... It's more subtle.
Yeah? Okay.
It's more subtle. He talks like... I don't know how to describe it. He kind of talks very like...
Well, what if we both talk like Bradley Cooper in A Star Is Born for the entire episode?
I don't know if I could do that.
I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, I don't know if you can try and do that.
I can try it. I can do it. I don't need to try.
Okay. I don't think he actually sounds like that.
When he's drunk, he does.
Okay.
And he gets drunk a lot in the film.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
No.
The film's about him being an alcoholic. Have you not seen the film? You clearly haven't.
I haven't, no.
It's a good film. You should watch it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, hello. I'm still reeling from episode 50. I think we peaked.
What, the fucking...
The South Park ranking, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we peaked.
Yeah. You know, spoiler, it's very hard to rank all 327 episodes.
And we're going to say that every episode until episode 100, when we're going to do all of Doctor Who, and then we're going to be like, oh, fuck, man. South Park was a walk in the park.
A walk in the park?
A walk in the park.
Lock that in.
Anyway, how you been?
I've been good.
I just ended there.
Okay.
You've been good?
Yeah, I've been good.
I've been good.
Yeah. How have you been?
I've been good.
Nice.
Oh.
That is the end of episode 53.
Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm even going to edit the outro music there to really trick them. Yeah. No, but how have you been? What have you been up to?
Yeah, I've been good.
Yeah.
How about you?
I've been good.
Yeah, that's good. I've been listening to more podcasts recently of specifically Brad Jacobs, who I am.
Of our podcast.
Yeah, I've been listening to my podcasts, me talking. I love listening to me.
I love listening to you too.
Yeah.
That's why I have a podcast
with me. Yeah, just so you can listen to me all the time. Yeah. But yeah, no, I've been good. I haven't been doing much of all of the business activities that I was doing before. But I've been focusing more on just my job and trying to get a raise, you know, because I love money.
Yeah, cool.
I love money. I want more money, you know, and money is the key to
everything.
Yeah, it is. It is the key to most things.
Yeah, that's why most people who don't have money don't get showers at your house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. If you're a homeless man and you don't have money, you don't get a shower at my house. Yeah. If you're Brad Jacobs, you can have my shower. You can have my house. Yeah.
Really? You'd give a multi-billionaire your house and be home. He doesn't need it.
He needs it.
He doesn't.
He knows what to do with that house more than I could ever know.
You get nothing from the equation.
Oh, I'll get many things from that.
No, he even tells you, he's like, you're going to get nothing from this, by the way.
Oh, I don't.
You are a fucking scumbag. You know, before the podcast, I asked him, say someone had a gun to my head. It's a hypothetical. Someone had a gun to my head, and then you get a phone call, and it was Brad Jacobs, and he was like, Hector, you got to help me. And in this scenario, he's like, Hector, you got to help me. If you save my life, you get nothing. I'll never talk to you again. You're not my friend. I'll forget who you are.
This wasn't a part of the hypothetical.
Okay, but now it is.
Okay.
Who are you saving?
Brad Jacobs.
Exactly. This son of a fucking bitch, man. I'm going to kill Brad Jacobs. I'm going to assassinate Brad Jacobs. No, cut that. That's not... In case I don't cut that is a joke. I don't even know who Brad Jacobs is. I don't know who he is. The first time...
You've seen his face. He looks like a nice guy.
The first time I heard of him was today, you know. Yeah. I'm not going to assassinate Brad Jacobs. I'm going to kill you, Hector. I'm going to assassinate you for making such an awful choice.
That's I can't argue with that. Yeah. Well, how about you? How have you been?
Yeah, I've been alright.
Yeah.
You know, this and that.
Yeah. There was something that I mentioned earlier, and I was like, oh, I'll talk about it on the podcast. What was that?
I mean, it's a bit of a bad segue, but I know what it was. It's the fact that you used to sell sweets.
Oh yeah, that is a bad segue. But now that I've got that in mind, so we'll come back to it.
Yeah. You got to make the segue. I'm not gonna make the segue.
That's fine.
You've got to segue into it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
We just watched about half of a documentary about Tesco on Netflix. How was that segue?
That's a good segue.
Yeah.
But that is actually also quite funny. We unironically just watched like 20 minutes of pure adverts.
Yeah, man. Tesco's bought and paid for that documentary. It makes them look so good. We got halfway through and I was like, wow, I need to go to Tesco's, and that's how I know I'm sheep, and it worked.
Yeah. But although as advertising as it is, it was good.
I mean, we haven't finished yet, but if they don't bring up the horse meat scandal, then it's a 1 out of 10. I'm going to rate it a 1 out of 10 on IMDb. Because when I think of Tesco's, I think of the horse meat scandal.
Was that ever real?
No, it was.
It was?
Yeah, and not only was it real, but as someone who consumed a lot of steaks during that time, statistically, I almost certainly ate some horse during that time. And that's how I know it's not that bad. You should eat more horses.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say, really, what's the difference?
They're just long cows.
Yeah.
Long, beautiful cows.
Yeah.
Yeah, fast cows too.
Probably tastier.
No, I wouldn't go that far. They taste exactly... There wasn't a point where I was eating a steak during that period and I was like, this tastes particularly horseish. Like, no, it just tasted like a steak. But I ate a lot of steaks during that time because I eat a lot of steaks. So yeah, I definitely ate some horse, yeah.
Would you ever eat a man?
If he had eaten a steak recently and he absorbed the power and the flavour of the steak, I would consider that.
Okay, right, yeah.
Here's a question for you. If you were on a desert island, it's hypothetical. You're on a cruise ship with your dad, and you're going to pull a prank where you attach a giant kite to his chair while he's asleep. But then the kite blows in the wind and it pulls you off into sea, and then you spend a little bit on sea and, you're on the kite, and then you wash up on a desert island. And then on the desert island, you spend the first few days, trying to, keep the morale up. Maybe you're singing songs to yourselves, you're cracking coconuts, you're investigating the trees and stuff. And then you go into one of the woods and there's a woman there and she's been there for like 24 years. And she's like, I crashed on this island because I was looking for treasure. I was looking for gold. Can you help me find the gold? And then you help her find the gold. And once you found it, she goes crazy. She's like, I'm going to kill you. This is my gold. And at the same time, your dad has one of his old business partners who he had a disagreement with is on the cruise. Jacobs. It's not Brad Jacobs, okay. But one of his old business partners who he had a disagreement with was on the cruise, and they eventually also got knocked off the cruise, and they end up on the island, and your dad's like, I bet they're here. I bet Hector's here. And then as they're looking for you, you're fighting off the woman for the gold. Eventually, the dad finds you and their old business partner, and then you manage to get back to safety just in time to go to your concert. What would you say? What would you do?
Enjoy the concert.
Yeah. That's the exact plot of Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Thank you. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful.
You were the chipmunks in that scenario, because that's exactly what happens to them.
Yeah. And who's the actor, the funny actor with the glasses?
It's Ian Hawke. Yeah, that was the old business partner. Yeah.
Ian Hawke, he plays Brad Jacobs.
It doesn't. Yeah. He'd be a good Brad Jacobs.
He'd be a very good Brad Jacobs.
He'd be a good Hector in your movie about your life.
Do you think so?
No. Because he'd be a good Brad Jacobs. You're nothing like Brad Jacobs, mate. You can only wish you were like Brad Jacobs, mate.
Brad Jacobs is at least 20% me. Also, who do you think would play a perfect Hector?
I've actually thought about this.
Oh, really?
pretty conclusively. I remember we were watching Oppenheimer, and Oppenheimer's got a brother in that film. And I wasn't watching it with you. I was watching it with Leander. And I turned to Leander and I was like, that's Hector. His brother in that film looks, in my opinion, he's just spitting fucking image of you.
I can't remember what his brother
I'm going to get it up. I don't remember who he is. I'm going to find it. But he's the spitting image of you. And he'd be you. I'm literally going to Google who was Oppenheimer's brother.
In the movie Oppenheimer?
Yeah. Who was Oppenheimer's brother in the film? Dylan Arnold is his name. Acting is his game. And he looks like this.
Yeah, that does look like me. Yeah.
Like, that's your face on a buffer better body. That's your smile.
So basically, I just need to go to the gym and then I'll be exactly like him.
Yeah. I also need to, get more talent. Like, that's you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's who I'd choose. That's who I think would play a good you.
Oh, well, there we go.
Who do you think would play a good Bradley?
Bruce Valanche.
Oh. Oh man, I gave you a real answer. I gave you an actual answer. You do me like that.
Okay. Let me think. See, my problem is I don't know.
I know who'd play a good me.
Who?
A young Jesse Plemons.
Who's that?
A young Jesse Plemons. I want to make that clear to the audience. Jesse Plemons currently couldn't play me. He's gotten older. I love him as an actor. He's a fantastic actor. He's gotten a bit chubbier, and I'm not that chubby. But a young Jesse Plemons from Breaking Bad 2005, season 5 even. Yeah, that could be me. Here's what he looks like. Young Jesse Plemons. I think we've got very similar faces.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I see it. Yeah. Oh, that guy. What movies is he in recently?
He was in Date Night.
I'm thinking of the anthology series horror.
Fargo?
No.
Anthology series horror. I don't know which one you mean.
About the man who works in an IT place and he's a nerd, and then at the end of the day he goes into his own virtual reality place.
Oh yeah, it is him from Black Mirror. Yeah. But yeah, a young Jesse Plemons, or a young Matt Damon.
He's a good actor.
He's a great actor.
Yes, yeah.
Or young Matt Damon.
Yeah.
I've got very similar faces to the two of them.
Yeah.
But in actuality, the only person who could really play me
is you.
No, it's you.
Oh, it's me? Holy shit. It's me. You're right. It is me. I look exactly like you.
I have just had a thought, actually. I've just realised. Because obviously we're in the cover art for the podcast, but I don't think we've ever actually told the audience which one of us is which.
That's so interesting.
So there are people who could see the cover art and actually think that I'm you and you're me. And if they ever met us in real life, they'd come up to me and be like, "You're Hector, right?" And I'd be like, "I'm Bradley." And they'd be like, "What? That's insane!" Do you think you look like your voice? If you didn't know me, you didn't know you, and you heard the podcast, you heard our voices, and then you saw the cover art, would you honestly point to you immediately and be like, "That's that voice"?
That's a really interesting thought. That's an interesting concept.
No.
I don't know.
There has to be at least one person out there who thinks that I'm you and you're me.
Yeah, definitely.
Should we reveal it?
No, that ruins it.
Yeah, fuck you. You're never gonna know.
Yeah, that's such an interesting thought experiment.
Yeah.
Not really a thought experiment, just a thought.
Just a thought. Yeah, there's no experiment. It takes zero effort to think that thought. You got any topics? I've got one thing I want to do in this podcast, and it could take a while, but I think it's going to be very fun. So get out the little bits now. I
guess on the topics of Brad Jacobs and Tesco's, we have I'm going to do a terrible segue, but we talked about this before the podcast.
Wow, and this is the segue you're doing. No, you know what? No, cut that. I'm going to do a better segue.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Wait, what were you saying? That's pretty sweet too.
Just the cover art thing. That'd be a pretty sweet thought experiment. And then you can be like,
no, this
talking
is
the sweets.
Way too cringe. I can't do that. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
Yeah, that'd be a sweet thought experiment. Hector?
Oh.
Do it. say talking of sweet.
I won't submit.
Say talking of sweet. That'd be a pretty sweet thought experiment. Hector?
I can't do it.
Talking of sweet.
Talking of sweet.
Yeah? What you got for us, champ?
I don't want to do this.
I've got a gun to your head and a gun to your balls.
I don't want to do it anymore.
Alright, use your dumb segue then. Okay. Oh yeah, talking of Oppenheimer and Tesco, what does that have to do with it? That was a pretty sweet segue, Hector. Hector.
God, Jesus Christ. Well, we mentioned this before the podcast.
And during. We've already spoken about
it. This is all not getting cut. This is staying in the podcast.
I'll keep it in. I don't give a shit.
No, but yeah.
I thought, by the way, unironically, if it was more spur of the moment, that would have been a great segue. Continue.
It would, maybe. Yeah. The fact that it's forced is maybe what makes it cringe. Yeah.
And the fact that I keep winking at you as I say it.
Yeah, that makes it worse. Don't do that.
Pretty sweet segue, Hector.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I used to sell sweets at school, and
as a fully grown man.
It was between the years of year 8 to year 11, basically.
Wow. So around 13 to 16?
13 to 16, yeah. And basically...
About 10 years ago now.
Jesus.
Over
That's
10 years.
more than 10 years ago. It's like 12 years ago now.
Fucking hell. I said that, you know the worst thing? I said that as a joke and it was supposed to be like a fuck off. But no, it is over 10 years ago.
12 years ago.
I was hoping you'd be like, fuck off.
Year 8 was 12 years ago. Year 8.
Oh, what's happening to us, man?
It's going to keep getting faster and faster.
Is this it for the rest of our life?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
You know what's even funnier? When we were younger, people used to say to us, "Oh, once you get old, people are going to say to you, oh, it was 10 years ago." And we were always like, "Nah, that's stupid. We're going to be young for
I used to be like,
long."
shut up, man. The flow of time doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It's linear. It's not linear.
It's not linear.
We've skipped whole fucking years.
Yeah. Vsauce proved that it's not linear.
No.
It just keeps getting faster and faster.
And eventually you will die.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. But yeah, I used to sell sweets. That's cool. I used to...
Actually, should we just take a second to slow down?
Why?
Because time's getting faster.
It is. It is getting faster. Let's appreciate the small moments.
Maybe imagine if this was like, it turns out this is the last episode. Like, life just goes so fast, and next week it's like, oh, I'm busy, I'm sorry, I can't make it. And this was it. This is the last time we did this. Could you imagine?
The impossible flow of time is scary.
Yeah. Eventually it'll be 10 years and we'll be like, man, do you remember that last episode we were talking about how fast time goes? Yeah. That's a scary thought.
But yeah, I used to sell sweets at school back before the flow of time was too fast to think about, but now, you know,
back in the good old days.
Back in the good old days. And I used to go to Tesco's. You
used to look at the guy in the Tesco's and be like, these are the good old days.
Yeah.
By the way, you're going to be a documentary in 10 years.
Yeah. I'd be walking down the aisle and I'd be saying out loud, these are the good old days. Yeah. But anyway.
Every time you sold a sweet, remember, this is the good old days.
Yeah. That was my motto, actually. Hector's motto, these are the good old days.
These are Hector's good old days.
These are Hector's days. Yeah, I actually made my own brand.
You used to go out to people and be like, you're in my memory.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I used to go into the shop and I'd get one of the trolleys and I'd fill it up to the brim with sweets all the way to the brim and take it to the checkout. And pretty much I remember specifically one time, one of the cashiers said to me, hey, this is loads. Are you having a party? And I said, yeah, I'm having a party. And then
you lied to her.
Yeah, I lied to her. And then, do you know what's even funnier? And then, I think it was my stepdad at the time, came and the cashier was like, loads of sweets, huh? You having son's having a party? And he was like, no, he sells sweets at school. The cashier looked at me
like you're a piece of shit.
Like I was a piece of shit. Yeah, and I remember that to this day. I remember feeling embarrassed because I lied to him.
Would it have been great if she was like, your son's having a party, and he was like, we're having a party? Oh my god! And then you had to have a party.
What would have been even funnier, what I was scared of is that she had like a big red button underneath the table, and as soon as she heard that, she was going to slam her hand on the big red button, and I'd get carried away.
Would power settle through the ceiling.
Exactly. Yeah, but yeah.
What was your bestseller?
My bestseller? Ooh, that's a good question.
That's why I asked it. I only ask good questions.
There were some popular ones. I think the most popular ones were... See, to my memory, it went through like periods, through phases. There was a phase where...
Can I guess?
You can guess.
Was one of the most popular ones the cola bottle?
No. I think...
I should just fucking kill myself.
I think the four top... I'll give you four guesses to guess at least one of the four top things. Okay. Now remember, I wasn't just selling sweets. I was selling
drugs.
I was selling drinks, general food, general like...
Alright, in terms of drinks, I think Lucozade Sport.
Lucozade Sport, was that the squirty one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the four?
I'm not answering yet.
Okay. Lucozade Sport. I think... Did you sell biscuits?
No.
Okay. I think those strawberry laces, the ones that you twirl, I think that was up there. I think one of your best sellers was some form of like proper caffeine energy drink, like a Monster or a Red Bull. I'm going to go with Red Bull, but I could be wrong. And the fourth one, it was a classic in my school. I reckon you used to sell toxic wastes, the really sour sweets.
No.
They're my four guesses.
Okay, well, surprisingly, you're actually quite close with a lot of those guesses.
Yeah?
In fact, especially the Lucozade bottles, because Lucozade Sport during the summer, it's a hot day.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. You used to like to squirt at people and be like,
exactly, you know. Those went down a treat.
Yeah.
Secondly, the strawberry laces you brought up something that I'd completely forgotten. That was actually how I started, because my dad suggested to me, you should sell strawberry laces. Buy individual strawberry laces, or no, buy a pack and sell them individually.
Yeah.
And that was what I tried to do in the beginning. And
I chased you out of the school.
No, that's what I tried to do in the beginning, and I put them into like a tub. So I brought them with me to school in a tub, and I found, hey, people don't want to buy handfuls of strawberry laces. They just want to buy a whole pack for like £1.
Yeah. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?
Exactly. So then I started. That was how I started. I started with strawberry laces, quickly moved up. I did Galaxy bars as well. It first started with all of the people on the bus. So at first I had all the people on the bus buying.
If your strawberry laces are the first thing you sold, then at one point they were your bestseller.
Yeah, so you got that right. Yeah, and then moved my way up. Galaxy bars, Mars bars. Double deckers were also quite popular.
Yeah. A crunch bar?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah. Crunch bars. Yeah. The golden ones. Yeah. Yeah, they were good. And then also towards the end of the journey started selling donuts, but obviously they're bigger.
Oh, wow.
They're harder to fit into the bag. Also, it got to the point where each day I would sell so much that I had to bring like a sports bag.
Holy shit.
Full of sweets.
I thought you were going to say full of the coins, like full of money.
No, not full of money, but full of all the sweets and drinks and everything. Like an actual, like a full sports bag. Would take it to school, come back empty.
And full of money.
Yeah.
How are you getting, so they were giving you coins?
Yeah, coins, pound notes, yeah.
So you actually must have
notes.
actually been like, you must have had a lot of coins.
I did actually. I have loads of coins.
How were you bringing? Were they actually in the sports bag?
No, they weren't actually in the sports bag. I just had them like in my jacket.
Okay, so it wasn't that many coins.
It was quite a lot.
But how are you fitting them in your jacket?
Because you have 4 pockets in a jacket, 2 inside, 2 by the side.
Oh, it's a blazer. It's a Yep. Right. Okay.
Yeah. And then I think towards the end I started putting them in a plastic bag so it would like not break. Yeah. But yeah, I saved up enough money through doing that to buy my first PC. Yeah.
Which is pretty fucking impressive.
Which is pretty awesome. Yeah.
I have some questions. Number 1, were you ever cool?
Yes.
What was the response?
I think I got isolation.
Okay.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Where like you have to, you spend the day and you do your work in an isolated room away from everyone else because you're too devious.
Yeah, because you're a monster. You're a fucking sociopath.
Exactly.
Did that stop you?
But actually, an interesting part of that story is that the kid that told on me was called.
I'm gonna have to censor his name, guy.
His name is. You might have heard the name before.
Stop saying his name. Yeah, I've heard you talk about it.
And as soon as he did, I told him what I said, before he went and told the teacher, I made sure that everyone in the class knew that I was doing it only so I could pay for my bus money because my mum was too poor.
Oh, man.
And everyone in the whole class beat the shit out of me.
Good.
Yeah. There was a really famous thing in our class called the chair.
Okay, tell us more.
And it all started with who was
I'm gonna have to censor a lot of names here, pal. He's a friend of me.
Yeah. And basically what would happen
actually, wait, let me quickly tell that. So the name you just said, which is blurred, I once in college, I went through his Facebook page, I found him, a random name on a random list, and then I spent about a year slowly just torturing the guy and trolling the guy with random Facebook posts from Hector's account.
And the part that makes it funny is that this guy was one of the biggest bullies in the school.
I'm glad I did it.
And basically, yeah.
But I honoured him. I also named a character after him, so I honoured him.
Yeah. And there was this thing in the class called the chair. And basically, he grabbed, put him into the chair, and the entire class sat on top of him in this chair. And he's dying at the bottom of this chair. He can't breathe because he's crushed under the weight of 10 kids plus. It was massive. It was massive.
Stop saying full names, Hector.
And then not long after I just carried on.
Were you held on? Were you like held down on the chair while people telling you?
Yeah, so you'd be held onto the chair and then everyone would pile on top of you.
That's
basically.
really funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was called the chair. And if anyone ever accidentally sat in the chair, then everyone would pile onto you. That's why it's called the chair.
I see. It was like the cheese touch.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
But then shortly afterwards, I carried on anyway.
And he told on you again. And he got 2 chairs.
No, but then strangely, the older everyone got, the less people bought because it was easier to just go down to the local shop and buy it yourself.
Yeah.
So it only really was profitable. It was only really profitable when I was really young. So like during the
So you never tried to appeal to younger years when you were in year 11, like
because the problem is you couldn't really socialize or talk to any of the people in the year above or below you because you didn't know them. Right.
You don't need to fucking socialise with them. You're just selling them sweets.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it was easy to sell it to all of the people in my year because like you know them, they're in your year.
No.
Yeah, but yeah, as we all got older, less people bought them, and it just kind of like faded out. Yeah.
Is my next question. Did you ever have a cool teacher who knew and was
not per se, but I had a cool bus driver
who knew.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Yeah.
Was he ever like, I'll buy it?
Because there was like many times where the schools like told the bus companies to make sure that kids weren't selling sweets on the bus.
I see. And
the bus driver was cool. He was cool. Yeah. Yeah. He used to let us play music. He was a cool guy. And there were also many times where I didn't have money to pay for the bus ticket, but he still just let me on anyway.
Nice. Yeah. Maybe he was grooming you.
He was.
Yeah.
That was the cost. Yeah. Yeah, well, any of the tickets I bought for that I didn't pay with money, I paid for with cum.
Yeah. Fucking hell. I was going to say, at least he didn't actually get you, but now you're saying he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, you were basically a little Heisenberg of sweets.
Exactly, yeah.
You should have started making sweets.
Yeah, and actually also you said sour sweets. There was this local shop called Mr. Smithy's or something like that.
Oh yeah, Smithy's, yeah.
Yeah, and basically you could get like these round balls which were sour sweets.
Oh, like Jawbreakers?
Yeah, roughly like that, yeah. And there was a black one that was so sour that you couldn't eat it. Anyone that ate it was a madman. And and of course what I would do is I'd buy them, bring them into school, and people would buy them just because they're fun. Because it's like, oh my god, here's this thing that's like so crazy. Yeah.
How about the Monsters energy drinks? Was that Red Bull? You close?
I think I saw Mountain Dews.
That's I'd put that in the same category. Yeah,
but not really Red Bull.
I should have guessed more gamer.
Yeah,
it's Red Bull but gamer.
Yeah. Mountain Dew. What else? A lot of minstrels. People liked minstrels.
Minstrels? What are those?
Yeah, it's like Galaxy chocolate minstrel things.
Oh, the little yeah.
What else? Yeah, Galaxy chocolate. Everyone likes Galaxy chocolate.
I don't like Galaxy chocolate.
Oh yeah, everyone at the school quite liked it. Yeah, but it was good. Yeah, that was my endeavour into.
Well, no, what it really was. This was your confession.
Yeah,
I'm phoning the place.
Oh my god. Thank you.
They're outside your house.
I've been waiting for this day.
Yeah. Your day of reckoning will come.
Yeah.
You're a monster. Anything else? Any other little topics before I propose? We might not even do my idea. It's so out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You sure?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It could be anything. It could be to sit on you and you're the chair.
Oh my god. Please no, don't chair me.
Here was my idea for this episode. Because I was in the shower and I was thinking about some of our little ideas for bits over the years. And I was thinking, man, I should really start writing some of them up. But then I was like, why? Why should I do that when we have a podcast and we can just speak it into existence and Apple Podcasts has a transcript and it writes itself. Yep. So what me and you all want us to do, Hector, my idea for this podcast, Hector, is that we write some sketches using our voice. We just speak it aloud, and then I can take the transcript and make it a script.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That was my idea.
Yeah.
And I've got a list of some of the sketch ideas we've come up over the years, and we can also just freeball some new ones. Like earlier you said that thing about the tree. Little foreshadowing there. Yeah, the tree one's great, Hector. It's a great one. Okay. But yeah, that sounds good to you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, let me get up the little list of sketches. So, we haven't had that many, over the I don't remember when we started this list. The first one on the list is Shit Jigsaw. Should we go through or should I read them all first?
Sure.
Also, some on the list you're not going to know, because they're just stuff that I've written down too, of my own ideas. So we've got Shit Jigsaw, The Longest Sigh, The Bus Inspector. Now, I think I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I do vaguely remember that one.
The Head Bus Tour. Do you remember last day? You remember that one?
The problem is, this isn't enough detail. You need to write a short
No, but the thing is, I remember them all.
I can't remember that very clearly.
The Horror Chef Fired movie trailer which we came up with Saturday when I had that shit burger.
Can't remember it.
Okay. Recycled burger kills chef.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, these next 3 are ones that are pure me.
Okay.
Ben Affleck, the movie.
Okay.
We'll get to that. Cats and Ladders.
Yeah.
You know that one. And then Eagle Steals Ice, which is a really short one I came up with just the other day that I think is just a really funny visual gag. Any you want to add to that list? Well, let's add Tree, Governor Tree.
The tree, yeah.
Governor Tree. Any others you can think of? We can also just come up with shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What one do you want to start with? I'd say the shortest one would be, for me, Eagle Steals Ice, because it's such a short visual gag. I've also been dying to tell you because I just think it's really funny.
Sure.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, interior, living room. A small group of men are gathered around the TV set and they're cheering on the football. Another man, come up with a name.
Jack.
Another man, Jack, enters holding a carrier bag. One of the guys is like, "Yo, Jack, did you buy that ice?" And he's like, "Hell yeah, man. This is the biggest bag of ice you've ever seen. Hold on a minute. Let me throw it outside to crack it." He opens the back door. He holds it over his head and he lobs it. And as it's in midair, an eagle comes, catches it, and just flies away.
Needs to be a really poorly animated one as well.
And I wanted to do a little, oh! And then in the background you hear the guys be like, "Yo, where's the ice?" And then I want him to look into the camera very seriously and be like, "They're never going to believe this." And that's it. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
But I came up that the other day and I thought that was really fucking funny. Just, and it just goes.
Yeah.
Like quick as a flash.
Yeah.
Because I also want it to be set in the UK where we don't have eagles. I want everything about it to be so unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know? Alright, that's one down.
That's nice.
That's my one.
I like that one.
Now let's do one we both know. Should we do? We've got many shit jigsaws. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Should we quickly do one of the shit jigsaws? Because we've got. I feel like we've got at least 3. We've got obviously bring out the bone crusher, tap water. We've got you know, just one of the basic, you know, you must clean my car.
Yeah.
And we've got you have 18 years to start a new life. Which one should we start with? Which one would be the easiest?
Honestly, I think the bone crusher one is like a really funny, clean cut, easy to do one. Like, you know, interior, man is lying on the floor. He's scared. He's terrified. It's dark. Yeah. He looks up and he sees, I don't know, what's something that's...
He looks up and it's pitch black. A bright light burns on. You know, his eye, he winces from the brightness. And then as his eyes adjust, he sees pillars, all with cups of water on them. 14 pillars, 14 cups. A TV screen in the corner fizzes on. Billy the puppet is there.
Hello, Jack.
It can't all be Jack.
It's cool. It's going to all be Jack. That makes it even funnier.
Hello, Tommy.
Jack.
Can't make it all Jack.
Hello, Jack.
Hello, Jack.
I know who you are. And now today, you must drink these 8 glasses of water in 25 seconds or less.
No, it was better than that. It was, "Hello, Jack. I want to play a game. There are 14 glasses of water here. 7 of them are water straight from the tap. And the other 7 are from bottles from the supermarket. You must determine which is which. You have 14 seconds to do so. Don't let me down, Jack. Your time starts."
It needs to be something like, okay, yeah, light comes on, he sees the 14 glasses. Hello, Jack. I know who you are. Before you are 14 glasses of water. You must, and it needs to be reasonable, right? It needs to be reasonable enough that when he hears it, his face lightens up. He thinks, "I can do this. Yeah. I can do this." And you see that on the actor's face.
Where does the "I know who you are" come into it? Really
it's important, right? All right. And then he says, "You must blah 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 in 2 minutes."
Okay,
he's like, "Okay, I could do this. I could do this, or your bones will be crushed."
No. I think
no, your bones will be crushed, or no, your bones will be incinerated, or I don't know, or you will be crushed. And he's like, "Okay, I can do this. I can do this."
What if he's like, your
starts.
bones will be crushed by the bone crusher?
By the bone crusher. And then the counter starts.
Yeah.
"Okay, I've got it. bring out the bone crusher. No, please, no.
There's more time. A black curtain falls. An ordinary car sits there. No, please. I think that's a good sketch.
I think that's funny.
I think it'd be really funny.
I think if you did multiple of these in parallel, it would make it more funny. So if you did like 3 of these shitty Jigsaw sketches, yeah.
Actually, fuck it. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's do the other Alright, have you seen Saw 7?
Maybe.
Alright, they introduced something in Saw 7, which is a Jigsaw survivors group.
Yeah.
So we could have 3 shit ones, and then at the very end, we have the Jigsaw survivors. And that way we could just spit out a bunch of them and have them all be really funny, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's come back to the other Jigsaws. Let's experiment with some of the others. The bus inspector. Now, if I remember correctly, we were on a bus, and the premise for this one was going to be, what if a homeless man tried to go on the bus, and he was just like, I'm the bus inspector. So I think the main character of this sketch has to be the bus driver.
Oh, but then this very rapidly devolved into us gaslighting the bus driver into believing that that we were. Oh, yes.
Yeah, is that the sketch?
Yeah, that was the
sketch.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was the sketch. So, like, basically, we would get onto this bus.
Interior bus.
Yeah, interior bus. We'd get onto the bus and we'd sit down and we would start talking incoherent nonsense to each other throughout the whole of the bus journey. But it would be scripted incoherent nonsense that loops every 1 minute. So after we've been on the bus for an hour right next to him, he knows what we're about to say each time. Yeah. And now we've gaslighted him into believing that he is going insane.
Yeah. And we go back every day.
Not every
saying
day.
The exact same.
we get on his first shift at 6 a.m, and when he gets off the bus, he's not going to get back on. He's going to go straight, take his break, and then go onto a different bus because he works as the bus driver. He's going to be driving many different buses, and so we get off of that bus, also take a break, and then we see what bus he gets onto, and we immediately just go onto that bus.
Yeah, we change outfits, we wear disguises, but we have the exact same conversation each and every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, but was that?
See, I don't know what the punchline is. It's just funny.
No, but I thought it devolved into that. But I thought the original sketch was.
The original sketch started from
a homeless man trying to get on the bus.
No, it started from how long do you think you could stay on the bus before the bus driver noticed? And we said things like, you could get like a cardboard cutout of the back of the bus so it looks like you're not actually there.
Yeah.
Or like, and then it devolved into, okay, what if it was a homeless man that got onto the bus?
Yeah.
How could a homeless man get onto the bus and get away? Well, what if the homeless man said that he was the bus inspector? Yeah.
So interior bus. A bus driver pulls up at a thing and very obviously
homeless man.
Filthy homeless man with a bindle, one of those bandanas on a stick comes under the bus.
He says, "Oh, I am the bus inspector.
I'm going to inspect your bus today." And the homeless man and the bus driver, he's like, "You're not, mate. You're not getting on the bus." And he's like, "I've got a card." And he pulls something out of his pocket and he does a really, like split second flash and he just puts it right back in his pocket. Like not enough time to see anything.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm getting on the bus, mate." And then he just storms on. He just gets on. What does he do?
I can't remember.
No, but this is us planning. Maybe we didn't have one. This is where we can come up with the punchline.
Okay.
What does he do? I like the idea that he as he's going through it's a busy bus, he's going towards the back. Of course he would. And as he's passing people, he's making little comments. Like he's passing a woman, he's like, "You're nice," he's just being a very obviously uncomfortable person.
He gets on the bus and he licks his finger and like gets a little bit of dust off of the sides.
He sniffs one of the seats.
Yeah, he wipes the window. Oh, it's a little bit dirty.
He starts actually acting like an inspector. Yeah. Maybe as soon as the bus goes, he just starts ringing the bell repeatedly too, shit like that. And he goes through, he starts ringing every bell, something like that.
The bus driver says, "Stop doing that," and he says, "I'm the bus inspector." That's actually all this old man can say. It's not that he's trying to pretend to be the bus inspector, it's that's the only words he knows how to say. "I'm the bus inspector."
Is the punchline is he actually the bus inspector? Has he actually been hired?
Yeah, he's actually, oh my god. That's hilarious. He comes on, a homeless man. All he can say is, "I'm the bus inspector." He gets arrested and taken away, and he's resting his head on the window of the police vehicle,
and he's getting
crying.
more and more incoherent.
A tear goes down his head. I'm the bus inspector. And then they take it, and then he gets out of prison. He goes home, and on his windowsill is a picture of him in the bus inspector outfit from 1954, and he says to himself, "I'm the bus inspector." He was the bus inspector.
He was being the operative. He's clearly lost his mind and gone insane.
Yeah.
I like that. And the bus driver loses his job either way.
Yeah, he gets fired immediately.
Yeah. Well, how does he upstay his welcome? What does he specifically do?
I think he's not welcome to begin with. So the bus driver's like, "No, you're not the bus inspector. You're a homeless man." And he says, "I'm the bus inspector." And he just comes on, and the bus driver's like, "You know what? I don't get paid enough for this bullshit." And he lets him on.
There has to be I like the idea of him like licking the windows and like sniffing the seats, trying to but it has to be a very specific big thing he does where the driver's like, "That's it. I'm calling the police." What is that big thing?
Well, this guy's an old man. The only reason why we think he's homeless is because he's old. He's a relic from the past,
Well, no, he's also dirty. His clothes are torn.
He used to be a bus inspector, and also back then people were very racist. So when he sees a black woman sitting at the front of the bus, he grabs her and he drags her to the back of the bus. She's screaming, "I'm the bus inspector." And then, it turns dark. It turns quite
really
dark. This is dark. This is going to be a masterpiece, right? We're going to have the ending's going to be sad. In the middle,
maybe they beat the shit out of him too.
Yeah.
Like the other people on the bus, they defend the woman and beat the shit out of him. And all the time he's going like, "I'm the bus inspector."
Yeah.
I did just think of another sketch though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that point. He is the bus inspector.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right, let's make it darker. He goes back to the. He basically tracks down the bus driver, and he like holds him at gunpoint. And he's like, "I'm the bus inspector." The guy's like, "Sure, you're the bus inspector, man." And then he turns the gun on himself, and it just cuts with a gunshot. Is that too dark? I think that's just right.
Yeah, that's just right. Yeah.
All right, sketch I just thought because you mentioned that black woman. So it's an old timey racist saloon. No, hear me out. I actually think this is quite funny. Old-timey racist saloon full of white people in like cowboy suits, and then a black man enters wearing like a modern suit and a tie. And they all, the music stops. They all turn to look at him, and one of them approaches. It's a bit like the South Park. One of them approaches like, well, look at fancy man in his suit and tie. We don't respect people like you." And the guy's like, "What?" And they're like, "Come on, guys. Put him in the basement with the others." And he's like, "Oh my God, what you?" And they grab him, they put a bag on his head. He gets thrown down basement stairs, and then he's like, what? And you hear a voice being like, "You too, huh? Don't worry, you're with your kind." And someone rips the bag off, and it's just a load of people who suits and ties of all races.
That's actually really, really funny. Yeah, that's a really good one. You gotta note that one down. Oh wait, we are.
We just writ it. That was it.
That's really funny.
I think that's a good one.
Very funny.
How about? Okay, I remembered Recycle Burger Kill Chef because that was about how shit my burger was.
Mm.
What was?
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, we already talked about it on the podcast, but basically we went to this restaurant at a local pub near me, and Bradley got his burger, and this burger was.
It was awful. There's a picture of it on the last episode. I put a picture on Joe.
It was literally, imagine like a black stone in between two burger buns. That's what it was. Yeah. It was terrible.
But the idea, because we were laughing about it in the restaurant, in the pub, and you were like, "Wouldn't it be really funny if like you did tell the chef?" And the chef was like, "No, this is a good burger." And then he takes the burger and he remakes it. He just grounds the meat back.
Out of spite, you return the burger back to him, and he's like, "No, this is a good burger." And he takes the burger and he grinds it up and he puts it in the oven, cooks it again, he recooks it, and then serves it to another customer. The customer brings it back, says, "Sir, this burger is terrible." He says, "No, this is a good burger." And he grinds it, he throws it in the oven, and he puts it back in another burger one, and then
the third guy's like, "So this is the worst burger I've ever had."
And he takes it, he grabs it, he takes a bite out of the burger, and he collapses to the ground and instantly dies.
I think that's a really funny idea.
Yeah.
Because I want the reactions of the people to get worse and worse. Eventually, just before him, it's like...
You can make it really, really deranged and dark. I think, yeah.
I think also the idea... Because obviously there's going to be a little montage of him recooking the burger. Use exactly the same footage each time. He's doing exactly the same thing each time. But what was the horror chef fired movie trailer?
Oh, but actually, by the end of it, that burger needs to look so mangled and like unrecognizable.
Have you seen that episode of SpongeBob where they think they've killed the health inspector?
I don't think so.
It needs to look like that burger. I'm gonna put.
Oh wait, I think I know which one you mean. What? Where like normally you see it in memes and the music is like.
That was a really good impression. Yeah, that one. Oh, let me go a bit. Krabby. Is it crab? No, it is Krabby.
Yeah.
I thought it was Crappy for a second.
Krabby Patty.
Krabby Patty secret formula. This one, yeah, the nasty patty. It needs to look like that. That's a really good impression of it. But yeah, so the horror chef fired movie trailer. I assume the idea spurred from the idea that like you complain and the chef's fired.
Yeah.
And then I guess it would become a horror movie of him like following you around. Is that the idea?
Wait, what is the name of it?
I just wrote down the horror chef fired movie trailer. But hearing that, that's my assumption. The assumption is that like it's like the beginning of a movie, and it's like, excuse me, waitress, this burger's pretty goddamn. This is a bad burger. And she takes it to the chef, and like maybe the guy hears an argument in the background, and the chef's like, you know what, I quit. He walks out of the kitchen, and it's like slow motion. He turns and he looks at you, and as he's walking out, he like points at you. And then maybe the guy's just going about his day, and you see the chef just like following him and doing shit. Maybe he breaks into his house. That's what I'm assuming. I should write it down in more detail, but that's what I'm assuming from hearing it. Do you reckon that's what we were thinking?
Yeah. You could do it more from the perspective. I think it'd be quite funny to do it from the perspective of the customer.
Yeah.
And like,
that's what I meant.
As in the customer just goes to a restaurant, they get a shitty burger and they're like, hey, waitress, this burger wasn't very good. And she's like, oh, that's okay. We'll take it back for you. And he eats a normal burger and then he goes home. And then the next day in the evening, he sees like a man in a chef's outfit around the corner. He quickly darts out of sight. And like slowly but surely, as the movie goes on, it gets darker and darker and more scary. You start seeing him in weirder and weirder places. Like, he's just working in the office. And he notices someone walking past him, and he catches the eye. But maybe the chef has like a noticeable feature on his face or something.
A thick moustache.
Yeah, and we see him turn around, and it's a guy with a thick moustache, and he's like, "Oh my god, is that the guy?" Yeah, and we progress it from there until
I like the idea of him. He's in the shower, and he's got his eyes closed, so he doesn't even see it. But as his eyes are closed, you see the silhouette of a chef with a chef hat walk past the shower curtain or something like that. Like, actually make it quite creepy.
Yeah.
What's the punchline? The punchline should be like, it's getting worse and worse. He's like terrified.
He kills him and he turns him into a burger and serves him to another customer.
That is good, but I thought I was thinking maybe he's got him like cornered. The guy's like, no. And then it just cuts and the chef just made him a new burger. And he's just like, how about this one? Is this a bad burger, you bastard?
That's good. I like that. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, a quick one I can do is Cats and Ladders, because this is an idea I came up with in college. I think it's just a really... most of my humour in terms of sketches is visual. I think visual humour is very important in a sketch show. And my idea for this, I've told you this before, probably 100 times, because I think it's I really want to make it one day.
Yeah.
Only needs to be like 20 seconds long, but... By the way, this idea is very similar to something they do in Rick and Morty. I had this idea before then.
Yeah.
Alright? I honestly did. So it's fucked. But it's a guy who's on the top of a ladder, like cleaning the window, and he looks down and there's a cat, at the bottom of the ladder, and he's like, oh, go away, kitty, ha ha ha. And then you just hear more meows, and he looks down, and there's like 5 cats at the bottom of the ladder, and he's like, okay, actually, whoa, and then the ladder starts falling. He falls back on the ladder, he's holding on, and then as he hits the ground, he smashes through the ground and ends up in just an endless void of cats. And he lets go of the ladder, and he like shoots past the ladder, like he's going so fast. And I want a perspective view from his eyes where he looks up and he sees a little him-shaped hole get smaller and smaller as he's getting further. And then he just screams into the nothing. And then I just want it to come up with text. Cats and ladders don't mix.
Yeah.
There's something about it. I just think it's beautiful.
Nice.
I want to make it.
It sounds like something from the interdimensional cable. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's fun. I didn't even watch Rick and Morty. I remember because I watched that episode and I was actually like, fuck, that's exactly what I was envisioning. A black void for the cats. That's fucked. Like, maybe I have to change the animal. But there's something really funny about cats and ladders don't mix to me. I don't know if anything rolls off the tongue as good as that. Dogs and ladders don't mix.
Also, cats are just a little bit funny.
Cats are funny.
Yeah.
Because they're also assholes. Like, a cat could easily intentionally do that to you.
No.
No. Longest sigh. I have a feeling I already know what this one is, but is it literally? But in what scenario? What scenario would a really long sigh be really funny?
That's what makes it funny.
What, just any
scenario?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How about, it's got to be something that's like tense. Where there's like, how about like a will reading? Where it's like, hurry up and tell us who got the house. Your late father gave the house to... It just goes on as long as... It needs to be something that's like, people impatient. Because that makes it extra funny, you know. What's a good scenario for a very long sigh? What are we thinking? A breakup?
See, I think the problem is with this one, I don't know if this... I can't think of anything that would make this good as a standalone. It needs to be like... part of something.
Okay, yeah,
if you know what I mean. Yeah.
How about, all right, let's just do some scenarios. I think a marriage proposal would be really funny. Would you marry me? And then have it go on for a little while longer. No.
Yeah, that could be like a funny, silly little bit. If it was part of like I think you should leave type of thing. Yeah.
Well, here's if you were gonna, in my opinion, if you're gonna do a recurring skit, it's that the last skit has to have like a proper closure punchline.
No.
So maybe like the guy we have the same guy do the side the entire time, and then at the very end he's talking to someone and he gets side at, and then at the end he's like, that was annoying, like.
That's the end.
Let's get back to the shit jigsaws because there are no scenarios.
Yeah.
You came up, I think, because it started from you do like a mundane task.
Yeah, I remember what it started with. We were at Dan's house.
Yeah.
And we were in the kitchen area, and I think it started off with like, you must wash my dishes, or I will detonate a nuclear device underneath the city, or
killing billions of people. Yeah, but hello, Jack. I want to play a game. And then, because they always start in a dark room, a spotlight turns onto a dirty sink full of dishes. In the sink are fine china, gifted to me by my mother-in-law. You must clean them spotlessly. You have 4 hours.
5 days.
If there is a single speck of dust on these dishes, I will detonate a nuclear bomb underneath your house, killing everybody in a 25,000-mile radius.
I will drop your 18-month-old daughter in a bath of acid.
I will melt you. I mean, although the ways of killing are funny, I do think it is funny if it's just like, and if you fail, I will kill you and your entire family with no explanation of how he's going to do it. Just, I will kill you and your entire family. You have 5 days. Do not fail me, Jack.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's something. I think we've got to talk about the idea of the shit jigsaw support group at the end. I think that's some really funny shit you could do there. All right, some other ones. The head bus tour. Now I remember what we were talking about here. We were talking about we were on the bus again, and we were talking about I think it must have been me that asked. I was like, what would you do if the bus was the shape of your head? Like it was a giant version
inside
of your head.
Was anatomically correct.
Yeah, and that's
a museum.
Yeah, and that's basically the idea. Like someone gets on the bus and they think. I mean, I like maybe. Okay, they get on the bus, and from the outside, it's a normal bus, And then as soon as they get on, they're greeted by a guy who's like, hello, welcome to the bus tour. I'll be your host. And then as they look around, it's like a TARDIS. It's massive in the inside. It's improbably shaped. And they're like, what is this? And they're like, this is you, sir. This is your head. We've been waiting for you. And it goes on and it's like, what are parts of the head?
See, I think it would be funny if it was just like a really, really cringe sort of like museum style bus tour. You get on and it's like, ooh, you're at the mouth now. Walking down the tongue. Like, yeah.
But I think there needs to be a tour guide.
Yeah.
And maybe at one point he's like, whose head is this? And
No, the tour guide is just the bus driver and he talks it over the speakers. And this is his bus. This is his head. This is the bus. No, the giant head is just the bus driver. It's a giant replica of the bus driver's head. Welcome to my head. Over there, you'll see my tonsils. They're not looking very healthy, are they?
It goes on to his history. You will see in the jaw, I'm missing a tooth. That tooth was knocked out by Greg Bishop in 1992 in a bar fight. And it just, there's something we could do there.
I think that would be really funny.
What's the punchline?
What would be even funnier is if it's just like it starts off, like exterior. It's a family that are going out for a nice day together in Cambridge. Yeah. And then we see this bus, which is just like a head printed onto a normal bus. And then they go inside and it's like, got all like sound effects and the bus driver's voice is narrating all of the different parts of the inside.
They're the only ones on the bus.
They're the only ones on the bus, yeah. That makes it even funnier. The punchline.
What's the punchline? Maybe he just won't let them off the bus. He's like, you've got to finish the tour.
I feel like this is a really good I think you should leave style sketch.
Yeah, but what's the punchline?
How does I think you should leave do punchlines?
I don't know. They ends in screaming, ends with sadness, ends.
What about the giant horse cocks, donkey dicks?
Well, yeah, that one ends with. He gets kicked, at one point because they kick him out of the tour. So maybe, what if they're doing the tour and the family are like really confused and they're really and the bus driver starts getting offended that they're not more interested in this. And he starts getting like a bit aggressive with them and he's like, why aren't you guys like, this is me, this is my head, I'm a good guy, I'm like a cool guy. You should be really interested.
Oh no, the kid is like, ew, there's a spot there, and the bus driver's like, don't touch that, don't you touch that, stay away from that part of the bus.
Don't talk about the spot.
Don't talk about the spot.
Don't talk about the spot. I've had many a conversation about the spot. I'm sick of talking about the spot. Oh man. And then, but are they leaving the bus? Or maybe at the end they turn and they're like, you know what? We had a lot of fun today. And it gets like sentimental and the kids are like, Dad, can we come back? And they turn to the driver and he's like, can we? And the bus driver's like crying and he's like, yeah, I'd love for you to come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
They get off the bus. The bus drives off and is instantly hit
by a lorry.
Destroying it completely. It explodes.
And the family scream. Ah!
Yeah. I think that's a good ending to the sketch.
Yeah, I think that's funny.
Okay, some other ones we had. We were getting towards the end, to be fair. I had an idea for one just called Ben Affleck the movie.
Yeah.
Because I think, and you brought up the Rick and Morty interdimensional cable earlier. This is in that kind of style, but that's what makes it, it's because that style is very reminiscent of a sketch show. That's kind of, they were basically doing like an animated sketch show where the premise is it could be anything, it could be absurd and shit. But the idea for this sketch is that I want it to start off as like a normal movie trailer. Like very, very normal. Like maybe a rom-com. And and then halfway through the rom-com trailer, you get a narrator come in and it's like, let's just call him, Ben's having a rough time and, it's blah, blah, blah. And then once it starts getting to the, starring Ben Affleck. And as soon as the name Ben Affleck is uttered, I want it to just de-ravel. Where it's like starring Ben Affleck, Meg Ryan, Ben Affleck. And then I just wanted to cut to like different shots of Ben Affleck. Played Ben Affleck in just wacky situations. And I wanted to end like really, like this is, Coming this summer,
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck presents a Ben Affleck picture starring Ben Affleck, directed by Ben Affleck, written by Quentin Tarantino and Ben Affleck. This is Ben Affleck's Ben Affleck, the movie. Coming, Ben Affleck.
Isn't there a Rick and Morty bit that does that?
I mean, the closest thing is the two brothers in a van.
Yeah.
But that starts fucked. I want it to twist.
Yeah.
As soon as Ben Affleck's, I want it to seem normal until starring Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to just, that's the thing, because the idea of the Rick and Morty one is just like throwing things in. No, all of this is about Ben Affleck. For no, I think Ben Affleck's funny. I think he's a funny guy. He's a funny actor because he's a pretty bad actor.
Yeah. And
then I just want it, by the end I want it to be like Ben Affleck. I want to do that Ben Affleck, like I don't know. There's not much to it, but I just I write and make things that I want to see.
Even funnier than that, I think even funnier than that is that at the end it cuts to the writer of this pitching it, and he's just rambling, and Ben Affleck, and then Ben Affleck, and Ben Affleck, oh Ben Affleck, oh Ben Affleck, and the judge panel are staring at him like with their mouths open.
That's a good punchline. Yeah. I like that punchline because it doesn't have a punchline. I write things I want to see, and I just want to see a fake movie trailer about Ben Affleck that just deranges into incoherent nonsense.
Yeah, and they cut to the writer of this pitching it
and
to
it's
a
Ben
panel.
Affleck.
Yeah, it's Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck being like Ben Affleck. I think that's a good punchline. Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, we came up with this one today. Governor Tree.
Yeah.
This should be fresh in our memory. So, quick backstory. We just went and stood under a tree on our way home from our local co-op because it's an interesting looking tree. And at one point I put my hand on the tree, and then on the way back home I was like, imagine if my hand fell off. Imagine if I got like a disgusting rash on my hand. So I guess the sketch would start with that. It would start with someone like, maybe it's like almost like a montage where they're like, and they're giggling. Someone puts the hand on the tree and is like, I love this tree. And then he cuts to later that night and he's like, hey man, you should see this.
His hand is like rotting, falling apart.
It's turned green, he's missing fingers. It's like, oh my fucking God. They go to the hospital and then I think the main brunt of this is like a news thing. Where it's like, the local tree strikes again kind of thing. And it's like, and it cuts to like a protester who's, there's an angry mob outside the tree, near the tree, and he's like, we've done a petition to the governor, but
I was thinking, but before that, they go to the hospital, and this could be the segue to that bit.
Yeah.
So they go to the hospital, and the doctor's like, oh, not another one.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh, well, this is the 5th guy we've had so far today from that tree. And he's like, well, why don't you do something about it? Why don't you cut it down? And he's like, we've tried. And then it cuts to all the protesters and the people saying, take down the tree, take down the tree.
And the main protester is like, we've written a petition to the governor, but he seems hesitant. Why won't he act? And then
and then it cuts to interview shot of the governor, and it's just a tree with some glasses on.
Well, it needs to have a news reporter be like, we asked the governor why he wouldn't take action against the tree. This is what the governor had to say.
It should just be a log in a suit with some glasses on it and a hat.
And it's just, obviously there's no talking,
silence.
it's a log, it's just silence. And then I wanted to cut back to the angry mob being like, why won't the governor do anything? We need action. And I think a good punchline would be like, the governor, and it escalated as earlier today an attempt was made on the governor's life. We captured exclusive footage, and it's just a man with an axe, and he's about to, hit the axe onto a log, and then we just, the camera quickly pans away, and we clearly hear him get shot in the head off screen and get killed. And then it cuts to like a Secret Service agent, and it's like, many attempts have been made on the governor's life, and we will not accept it. The tree stays where it is. And maybe we end with like a riot, like, full-bodied, like, purge fight. And then we just see the log near the tree, or something like that. What's a good final punchline to the sketch? What can you think of? The log is actually alive, the log smiles, or something like that. We added a little mouth onto it, and it's like, like, it does a little creepy smile. What can you think of? How do we end Governor Tree?
only thing I can think of is maybe the camera is looking at, you know, the tree, you know, that where you put your hand on it and you got you know, fell off. But next to it is the stump of an old tree that got cut down. Maybe that's where the governor came from, but yeah, I don't know. That's weak.
What if where he put his hand on, we see? What if we just go far? We see the handprint, and the handprint just starts like glowing orange, and then we hear like a demonic laughing or some shit like that. Like make it clear like the tree's evil. We should cut down the tree. No. It goes from the riot, and it cuts to 100 years later, and the tree is like there's a cage built around the tree or something. Like the tree, I don't know. There's got to be something about the tree. The tree has to be the punchline. There's something about the tree has to be the punchline, in my opinion. Or the government.
Okay, I know. How about this? It's rioting, fighting. You know, there's fire, there's smoke, all the buildings with windows smashed in, and we cut to the White House.
I like it.
Yeah, we cut to the White House, and then like security personnel burst into the room. Mr. President, the chair slowly turns around. It's the
tree. You've got it, man. That's the punchline, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the last one we have. I do think the idea of the shit jigsaw support group is funny. So maybe it's the guy who washed the dishes. And he's not even that affected by it, but he's been invited. So he comes in and it's like, you know, he sits down and he's like, you know, my name's Jack and I had an experience. And then we cut to a long thing. And, you know, it's people who are like, some of them are genuinely missing limbs, some of them are just normal. And he's like, he made me wash dishes for 5 days. And everyone's like, whoa. And we can ask, because we came up with loads of them, and this is where we can throw him in, where it's like, you know, it's like, what did he make you do? Oh, he made me hoover his entire house. And when I fouled, he melted my hand in acid.
Oh wait, no, I've got a good one. I've got a good one related to this. So, you know, this man, he wakes up in this strange house, and there's the spotlight shining on a pile of dirty dishes, and then he wakes up. He's chained. He's like, what's going on? What's going on? What's happening? The room's dirty. It's like a dark, dirty cell, and he sees the pile of dirty dishes, and then the light flickers on, and he sees the jigsaw doll. He's like, no, and then Jigsaw goes, you must wash these dishes, and then turns off. And this person is so scared, so they run over and they start washing the dishes, and in the background this guy is just this normal guy. It's like, nice. There's no consequence. There's never any consequences, but he just uses the fear of Jigsaw to get people to do all of his housework.
Yeah. I like the idea. So in this support group, that's where we could, because I do think the idea that you came up with, where it's like, what did he make you do? And the guy's like, he told me that, you know, I was a drug addict, I was drinking. He told me that to get off the drugs, I had to get myself back into university, I had to re-enroll, I had to meet the girl of my dreams, fall in love, have a child, have 2 beautiful children, send them off to uni. He gave me 24 years to do so. And if it didn't happen, he said he'd... What's the fun?
He said he'd cut off my toes. He'd cut off all my toes.
He said he would cut off both my arms and legs and stitch them on the opposite way. And then, okay, the final punchline. It could be, you know, well, how about you, sir? He said I had to walk his dogs, and what was the consequence?
He'd saw my grandmother in half.
No, I think we should bring it back. What was the consequence? He said he'd crush my bones with the bone crusher.
He said he'd bring out the bone crusher.
And then you see the first...
Oh, no, that should be it. You have 13 minutes to do this, or I will bring out the bone crusher. And then it starts counting. He starts doing it. Bring out the bone crusher. That's what makes it funny.
The repetition is good.
Yeah, that's what makes it funny. Yeah.
That would also make the punchline at the end. Like, you know, what would he do? And he's, you know, serious, solemn. He said he'd bring out the bone crusher. And that's the end of the sketch, you know.
That's funny. Yeah.
I think we have if I was to write them all up, I actually think there's enough there for like a pilot for like an actual sketch show, essentially. Like I reckon we could fill up like 20-30 minutes with that.
Yeah. Oh, you think so? 20-30 minutes? Yeah, to be fair, even the bus sketch, that's quite a long one, actually. Yeah. There's quite a lot of like runtime.
I feel like something like the recycled burger one could be like about 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
There's 3 Jigsaw sketches really.
Yeah.
Governor Tree could actually be. We could
That
actually
could be quite a long one.
Yeah. The only ones that are like very short are Cats and Ladders, The Longest Sigh, and I mean Ben Affleck the movie. I could do to a minute. I think I do. I have faith in that one. I think I could do it funny.
Yeah.
The most we need is 20 minutes, really.
Yeah. The real challenge here is getting actors who are actually funny.
Yeah.
Because if you try and get like cringe actors who aren't funny to do this, it's going to fall over flat.
We could do it.
I don't think we're.
You don't think we could do it?
we're good actors. I don't think we're good enough actors to do it. No.
I feel like we are. I mean, can you honestly say Tim Robinson's a good actor?
He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's hilarious. But I think we could do it because we're the ones who find this funny, so we understand what makes it funny to us.
Yeah.
So we can act and exaggerate the bits that are supposed to be funny. Like it's not just going to be like bring out the bone. Like no, it's going to be like bring out the bone crusher, and it's not. You don't want a guy like actually panicking like what no, like you want him to. I think that reaction is what makes it funny. It's like whoa oh no oh god no oh please I had time. Like you don't want it to be like I feel like there's got to be a level of irony with if we were to do it. There's got to be a level of irony with how we're doing it because that adds to the joke. The only ones in there that I think should be played without laugh seriously are Governor Tree, the horror chef fired movie trailer, and maybe Bus Inspector. I feel like Bus Inspector could be played pretty serious, but the other ones we could do that. I reckon we could do it.
Yeah.
Like Longest Sigh we could do.
Yeah.
No. Right, we could totally do that,
Yeah. No.
You wouldn't want to do any of this? No. If we were to make it, we should call it, like something like the Nethergreen Variety Hour or something like that. Like it needs to be obvious that this is a Nethergreen show.
Link it to the podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
Is Nethergreen the official,
brand
now?
It should be. I think it should be.
Is there anything else called Nethergreen? I don't think there is.
I think there is.
Oh, man.
I think...
There can't be. That's such a unique name.
If I remember correctly, the reason... And I felt fine using it. Yeah, it's just... This is all I could find. I could find a single surgery in Sheffield, which isn't a big thing. Also, there's also a school called Nethergreen, in 2 words. But the only thing I could find that's proper Nethergreen is literally just this surgery. That's why, even when we came up with the name and I googled it, that didn't worry me. No one's going to think this is the official podcast of a random surgery in Sheffield.
Yeah.
But I still reckon we could use it as the brand.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to be... I'm not going to be like, yo, you've got to change your name, Random Surgery in Sheffield. Like, no, of course not. Like, they can be, that can still exist, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a good brand name.
I think it's
I remember when you came up with Tensol, I think I did moot. I was like, well, how about Nethergreen? Nethergreen Media, Nethergreen Productions, something like that. And you were like, no, I want to keep it disconnected from the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Which I think is good.
Why?
Yeah. It's not the same.
Okay, well, let me ask you then. Is Nethergreen a part of Tensol? Is Tensol still a brand? Is that what we're working towards?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just one of...
Okay, well, what is going to be our ultimate brand name? Because me, you, and Dan, we're going to have like a production company. What are we going to call that?
I don't know.
I think Nethergreen Production sounds pretty good.
Yeah, we could do Nethergreen. Yeah. The trouble is, we can never know which one will be successful.
That's true.
Yeah, that's the trouble.
Well, all I know is, at some point, I'm going to go to America with Dan, and maybe you'll come. And when me and Dan start making films, independently, that's what will be at the beginning. It'll be a Nethergreen production.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh
nice.
Yeah. I think that's it though.
Yeah.
Got any little bits?
This episode was half bits, so no, I'm all out of bits. Yeah. I
mean, this was a better execution of bits than that one with way too many bits, where
Leander
was just
terrible.
trying to tell a story.
Yeah, that was terrible, and the one where we were just making loads of terrible, immature jokes. What was it about? Yeah,
that's the one about the boy in the heaven. Yeah. What mood were we in? I know why. It's because I personally thought what he was saying was a bit boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I hadn't seen The Boy in the Heaven. I had nothing to
It's because Leander didn't try hard enough to sound like Brad Jacobs.
Or me. when I'm telling a story.
Exactly.
I'm a master storyteller.
Yeah.
And I'm masturbator.
Yes.
That's an immature joke.
That is a very childish joke.
Too many bits.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut out half this episode.
Yeah.
All right.
Good episode, I think.
Better than last week. Honestly, I think last week's episode is one of the worst we've ever had.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
What did we talk about?
It's the one where we were sitting on and we were talking about Leanne's birthday and Marks and... Was it Marks and Spencer's? No, where did we go?
John Lewis,
yeah.
Was
and
that
then...
it?
No, yeah, well, that was mostly it. And then you kept, and then we got onto hypotheticals. Oh, yeah, I forgot my hypothetical question.
What?
I've got to ask you one, I guess. I said it's going to be a recurring segment.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, off the top of my head, what would you do if you were in the shower one day and while you were in the shower you had your eyes closed and you heard the door closed and you heard someone get in the shower next to you and you heard Shamong's voice and she was like, mind if I join? And you were like, sure, and you turned around and it was a big, fat, bald, bearded man. What would you do? You definitely heard her voice. What would you do?
If he's noticeably a lot bigger than me, I'm not going to try and fight him immediately.
I think he is. I think he's also like in his 40s.
Okay.
And he's fat and he's big and he's bald and he's got a big bushy beard.
I'm not going to try and fight him immediately. I'm going to try and...
Get out of there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to try and run?
I'm going to try and specifically get to the toilet because next to the toilet is a marble thing that the toilet brush goes in. I could take him out with that easily. Anyone, I could kill someone with that.
What if you swing at him and he catches it in his hand and he crushes it?
Fuck.
What are you going to do then? What are you going to do?
I'll jump out the window.
You jump out the window?
Yeah.
Naked?
Yeah.
Wow, you got balls. Are you not questioning how he was able to perfectly imitate Shamong's voice?
That just adds to the fear.
Yeah, but I would question it. I'd be like,
I wouldn't ask him. I'd just jump out the window.
Well, Shamong's still in the house. You're just going to jump out the window and leave her here?
Well, of course I'm going to jump out the window so I can run into the kitchen and get the knives and then go back up and stab.
How do you know he hasn't locked the door? Who knows how he got here?
The back door. I'll take the back door.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you run back in, you get a knife.
Yeah.
What's next? Because now he's locked himself in the toilet.
Oh, he's locked himself in the toilet.
I guess.
Okay.
I guess now he's locked
himself in the toilet. Then in that case, I'd take a canister of gasoline, pour it underneath the door, and light it on fire.
So you're willing to burn your house down to kill this guy?
This is my house.
You could call the police.
This is my house.
You could call the police. You don't need to burn your own house down to kill this guy.
I'm not calling the police.
No?
The police are with him.
You said 2 episodes ago that you'd call the police if a homeless man simply knocked on your door and asked you for a shower.
I would, yeah.
But you're not going to call the police if a big, fat, bald, bearded man
appeared in the shower next to me? No.
Well, not appeared. You heard him. That's the thing. So you had your hair closed. You're washing your hair. You heard the door open and Shamong's voice was like, mind if I join? Sure. You think it's going to be all sexy. And then someone comes in the shower and they put like their hands on your shoulders. And then you wipe your eyes, you turn around and it's him. Okay. So he didn't just appear. He entered the room using your girlfriend's voice somehow.
Okay. Yeah, I'd get the gasoline, I'd pour it under the door, and I'd throw a match down. He's going to burn to death in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if, as soon as you light the match...
What?
Okay. You set the fire, you instantly I've won. And then the fire just goes out.
Why the fuck would the fire go out? Yeah, in that case...
He's done it somehow. He's... Okay, no, you drop the match, but as it's falling to the ground, you see the puddle of gasoline go, because he's sucked it all up. He's gone... And he's sucked up all the gasoline, so it just hits the floor and it goes out.
Okay, well, he's going to die anyway, because he's just drunk gasoline.
Then you hear him spit it out into the shower. What are you going to do?
I'm going to light the tip of the...
You haven't once spoke to the guy.
No, I don't care.
You're not going to speak to him at all?
No.
He imitated your girlfriend's voice.
I'm going to light the tip of the canister on fire, so it's all on fire, and then I'm going to pour the flaming gasoline under the door.
Probably killing yourself in the progress.
No.
Yes.
I'm built different.
You are built different, that's true.
I pour it straight under the door.
And Shamong, at this point, where do you think Shamong is? She's in the house. Where do you think she probably is? In her study?
I'd assess that while I'm pouring the flaming gasoline under the door. Yeah. If she's not in the house, then I would...
She is in the house.
Oh, she is?
In this scenario, she's very much in there.
Okay, then
because if she wasn't in the house, you'd question, how is she here trying to get in the shower with me?
Okay, well then in that case, yeah, I would just get her and then get her to come out of the house with me while we burn it to the ground. And then I'd call the fire department and say, oh no, my house caught on fire.
So you just say that, you wouldn't say, oh no, a big stranger broke into my house and lit my house on fire?
No.
You wouldn't blame the stranger?
No.
Why? That just makes you look suspicious.
How?
Because now they're going to be like, oh, by the way, who's the guy in the bathroom who looks like he's been killed by you? When you could be like, oh yeah, that guy broke in and lit the fire.
Okay, yeah, I guess sure I'd do that then. Yeah.
Alright, what if last one. What if the fire department come and, you know, the house is burnt to a cinder and they're investigating the house and they're like, well, thank God no one was in there. And you're like, wait, what?
That was why I wouldn't have told him in the first place, because I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. You know. But then, what would you do? The guy's not in there anymore. Did he die? Did he evaporate into dust? Did he escape?
I would have just thought that I'd gone crazy and I'd kill myself.
Alright, the last one then. You think you've gone crazy. You're spending the rest of the day like rubbing your forehead, being like, what happened? And then you get like, bing, on your computer, and it's him. He's taking a video message, and he's like, I'm going to find you, Hector. He says it in your girlfriend's voice, actually. He's like, I'm going to find you, Hector. Then what would you do?
Yeah, I'd kill myself.
Then you'd kill yourself.
Yeah.
Coward. Alright, thank you for listening. I wouldn't kill myself. That'd become like my new mission in life. I'd finally have a purpose, which is to figure out what this guy is and kill him.
Sure.
Sure. First of all, if you're going to kill yourself, you have to kill Shamong too. You could come back for her.
The same.
Are you going to do that?
No.
Then you can't kill yourself. If you kill yourself, you're a bad boyfriend. She's in danger now.
I see. Then I'd kill him with a nuclear device.
Yeah?
That I have in the garden.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're adding too much to this hypothetical that isn't real.
It is real.
You don't have a nuke.
Oh, really? And the man that can speak with my girlfriend's voice is real.
No, but you don't have a nuke in the garden.
I do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, you didn't. You're a liar.
You seen my nuclear device in the garden?
I haven't seen any nuclear devices in Hector's garden.
That's what I thought.
How did you buy it? Would you sell more sweets?
I did, actually.
Oh.
That's the first thing I bought. Nuclear device.
That's fucking...
I started the war.
That's a bold buy.
Yeah, I started the war in the Ukraine.
Wow. You're fucking... Cut that. You just admitted to a war crime.
Yeah.
Alright, now we're done. Alright.
You're happy with yourself?
I think they're going to get better over time.
Okay. I hope so.
Yeah. Technically, I didn't need to say. I already did ask. I asked you what you would do if you were in the exact scenario of Alvin and Chipmunks 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that would just become the scenario. I would just ask you what you would do if you were in the scenario of different obscure movies.
What would you do if you woke up and there was a green giant creature lying next to you and you were a princess?
Which movie's that? No, unironically, which movie's that?
Oh.
A green giant thing next to you. Oh, Shrek! You got me with that one. Okay. Alright, well, what would you do if...
What would you do if I segued to the ending of this podcast?
I'll allow it. Thank you for listening.
Good night.
Bye.